Ready?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2. New Age of Heroes.
I wanna take you for a ride. 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 I wanna take you for a ride.
Turn this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ah, those weeks like these, you just gotta sit back in your brand new chair, your brand new gaming chair. Very sturdy, very nice, very quality top of the line. Shout out to Secret Labs. You know what I'm saying? It's not a partnership, but they need a partner. And boy, uh, you just gotta look back and just say, thank goodness it's Friday. You know, you gotta say thank God it's Friday because the No Cooldown podcast is back. Episode 54. We're in the building, baby. I feel very relaxed right now because work is over and I turned off my phone so they cannot contact me. Thank you so much. But we're here. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. And of course, I'm here with my podcast partner in crime, WenEazy. How is you doing, sir?
I'm good. And yourself?
Hey man, listen, I'm in a robe. I feel fantastic. I am alive. That's all I can say. And I'm ready to talk, man. I'm ready to talk about games this week. I've barely been gaming this week. This work was a pain in the ass, but I'm glad it's over. I'm trying to get into it. It's gonna be a good episode. It's gonna be a good weekend. So I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling all right. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And we got another King stand. Look, I need you to stare into the soul of King's eyes, man. Look in his eyes right now. You know what I'm saying? Feel the pressure. Our stand in this week. He's feeling real focused. He's feeling real ready to roll, man. I don't know if you see. Oh, but also, side note, King is actually just at ALGS because ALGS is in London. So the Apex series, he's doing a bunch of stuff over there. Shout out to him. Just enjoying the festivities and whatnot, working, doing his usual thing. But stare into his eyes. Stare into King's eyes. Do you see that? Focus. Anyways, focus on the fact that you should rate this podcast 5 stars. I need you to go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Just search up No Cooldown and find us there. We're also available on Google, Google Podcast, Stitcher. We're also available on Anchor, of course, and the video version live on youtube.com/@No Cooldown. And you know what I'm saying? You know where to find us on the individual channels. You see the ads all in the, you know what I'm saying, description. You're watching the video version, also video version on Spotify. But we got a lot of news this week. Gotta cover it, man. A couple things to warm up, some juicy stories and some real out of left field moments. I ain't gonna lie to you. So without further ado, when is you ready?
Born ready.
All right, word. King, is you ready? Stand in. The stare tells me he's ready. All right, let's get into it, man. So first and foremost, somebody brought this to my attention, and I really wasn't locking in on TwitchCon and stuff like that. I don't know if I was going this year. But honestly, the location got dropped, and I was intrigued just considering the amount of shenanigans that can go down in a Twitch community. As we've seen, the creator community this week has been on absolute fire. They've been in some hot shit, no pun intended. And like, bro, they're gonna be in Vegas. TwitchCon's going to Vegas this year. How do you feel about the wonderful, very calm, cool, collected, and cordial class of creators going to Las Vegas for TwitchCon?
Honestly, I like the idea that it's in Vegas because California is very expensive. I think California might be more expensive than Vegas.
Mm.
But I'm not gonna lie to you when I say I cannot imagine the type of shenanigans that are gonna happen with a bunch of Twitch streamers in a place like Vegas. The thing about Vegas that a lot of people don't really understand is that Vegas is like a couple blocks wide. Like it's not a huge city. Like
It's the Strip.
you're gonna be walking into you're gonna be seeing all the big streamers all at like the same streets. I'm not excited for it whatsoever.
Bro, we need to start some parlays and some over unders on how many arrests are gonna be made, how many creators are gonna like sneak into TwitchCon, you know what I'm saying, under the radar, how many escorts are gonna be brought in to random ass meet and greets and just testing games and stuff. I need all these over unders, man. I need to make some money, so we need to start these parlays. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm trying to get into the game.
Yeah, if people don't get banned before they get home, I wouldn't be wouldn't be surprised if people get banned before they even get to the crib. Like that's what's crazy about it. I have no intention of going to TwitchCon unless Growth goes to TwitchCon. Outside of that, yeah, I will be waiting until the weekend after TwitchCon to go to Vegas so that the hotels are cheap and I can get a bunch of stuff for the low.
Facts. Honestly, you might check in one of those rooms. Somebody left their laptop or something like that. End up like the Hangover or something like. You know what I'm saying? You might come up. You might come up big. I'm
gonna log into Pokemon's account. Like, here we live.
One of the modders said, "Fuck y'all niggas say." That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, no, I prefer to go to a to any TwitchCon in Europe before I prefer to go to any TwitchCon in the States. I just feel like the air is different depending on where you go. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. We'll figure out what's going on. On to the next story in the warm up here. Fortnite has officially spun the block again on their partnership with Dragon Ball Z Super, bringing in 2 new characters in Gohan and one of anime's leading Black Fathers, Piccolo, in their custom fits, Power Awakening modes, Capsule, and Handheld House gliders, Beast Axe, and all that type of good stuff. And also in the Fortnite world, some observant people have found some files of a first-person mode in Fortnite, and even saw some people create custom maps like Forge style of Modern Warfare 2's Rust map to play on. So, thoughts on the Dragon Ball Z partnership going again, and thoughts on first person?
First person seems interesting. I think it'd be a cool little like LTM. Dragon Ball Z. This is actually one of the drops I'm gonna miss. I've been buying every single Fortnite drop to play Fortnite for maybe like 3 days at the most, and then stop playing Fortnite. It's just not the game that I have time for right now. But I do love the collabs. I do love Gohan. I wish they would have dropped Gohan when like the movie came out. But hey,
Mhm.
better late than never. The first person mode would be kind of sick though. I'm not gonna lie. I think that would be
First
a pretty dope mode.
first person looked gas from the little piece of footage that I saw. I ain't gonna lie. It looked pretty solid. And I would personally love it. You know what I'm saying? Third person, you know what I'm saying? At least right now, I'm not as well versed as I used to be in third person stuff. So I'm like, hey man, that'd be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? A little mode to drop. And yeah, Dragon Ball stuff. I might just hop on, download Piccolo because I need black representation in my game. So gotta download
Absolutely.
that. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get that automatically. And then we'll just move on. You know what I'm saying? Fortnite is a good like what's the name? Like ground zero game. What's the name of that one thing in Minecraft? I forget. Bedrock. There it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a bedrock game right now. I can always come back to it. You know what I'm saying? Just get people on, have a good time. It's always there. It's all reliable right now. So I might hop on for like a quick 30 minutes, buy the skin, play a couple games, put it back on the back burner, come back. But Fortnite always cooking as they usually have been in this past year and change. So shout outs to them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Man. And moving on to the last quick story of the warm up here. Twitter is completely putting their foot on the gas on the road to becoming a crappier app as they've introduced paid boosts to tweet in similar fashions as Facebook and IG. It seems like we're picking up speed and basically deading any organic reach and pull you can have on that app. So thoughts on this?
This is like one of those like clear signs and one of the big reminders of like, yo, if you are a creator and you're trying to create in these spaces, make sure you diversify your content because there are a lot of people who use Twitter as like one of the biggest forms of creating content outside of streaming. And it sucks that now your livelihood is at the whim of a billionaire. At any point in time, he could just be like, hey, no more organic reach. If you want people to see your tweets, you have to pay for it. So it's kind of sucks. I'm looking at like we have a for you page now on Twitter. Don't like it.
Mhm.
I always switch it back to following. And honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Like I used Twitter was like the last safe haven of apps I actually enjoyed. And it's pretty much dead now. I'm actually reading more. So thank you, Elon. I read now.
He's reversing the damage Bush did. Shout out, I'm about to say it, bruh. It may actually did something good for a change, inadvertently, I might add, but it's a change nonetheless. But listen, this app getting ass, bro. I'm sorry. Everything behind Twitter blue. They said people can get ad revenue off of like tweet replies or something like that or views, but you have to do it through Twitter blue. They increasing the price. They doing all this and killing all the organic reach. I listen. I need to, yeah, Discord's coming soon, man. Discord's coming soon, man. Go join WenEazy's Discord. You know what I'm saying? The link will be somewhere. A link will be, I promise you, somewhere. Just join Discord at this point, man, because Twitter's getting cooked slowly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, moving into the main stories of the week. Good lord, this first one. Oh my gosh. I gotta mentally prepare for this one, man, because this hurt. This one definitely hurt. And for a specific reason. Not 2 out of the 3. Let's get into it. Let me explain. So EA had a lot of big news to drop this week over some shifts in movement within and unfortunate news for running and developing projects. So first and foremost, had a couple of major mobile projects get basically ended. EA basically axed its mobile presence in a huge way with the cancellation of Apex Legends and Battlefield Mobile. So they cited a lot of ambiguous factors beyond their control that stopped the project in Apex Mobile, despite a strong start. Honestly, they were really cooking at the start. And so EA, Respawn, Tencent, they've all decided just to shut down Apex Mobile on May 1st. And Battlefield did we even hear anything about it besides it was coming or it got shut down? I
Bro, if you're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. You got 90 reasons why you shouldn't care about Battlefield right now. Still, I ain't gonna lie to you. You're right. You're right. You're right. But Battlefield Mobile didn't even get off the ground. They was like, "Hey, listen, you're canceled," and all the people that were working on these teams just got shifted to other projects. They just got moved internally. So, thoughts on this and just them like axing their mobile presence?
Um, like I never really cared much for Apex Mobile, but I know that a lot of people did, and a lot of people were pushing for it. I didn't expect it to get canceled, but I didn't expect it to actually out of all the mobile games, this is like the one expected least to get canceled because they seem to be using it as like a beta test for regular Apex. And that's what was so interesting to me why they canceled it is that like, are you guys going to do what like almost every other shooter at this point does and have like a beta test portal? Like I know in League there's a public beta like game that you download where you play games, you play it with like the new patches before they go live on the main servers.
Yeah.
So like same thing with Overwatch. There's like a lot of shooters do it, and I felt like they used Apex Mobile as like here is how you can try out the new heroes before they come out. I thought it actually had some pretty good potential, but at the same time, I also know how much of a resource like hog Apex is and how tough it is to run. So like putting it on a cell phone, I was just like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't, but hey, you guys know more than me. So them canceling Apex is kind of the one thing I didn't expect them to cancel, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Apex had a lot of momentum for a new one. I feel like they might have set a too high of an expectation or too high of a bar for themselves in the mobile market. I know mobile is still burgeoning, it's still hot right now. Again, as the crazy segment that it is in the gaming industry, I feel like they might have set a too high of a bar for themselves, and it's like, yo, they didn't allow themselves enough time to get into the game. Like Tencent work fast, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
still, you can only meet people halfway, and you can only deliver so much before people have to make the choice for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like in the mobile space, probably the name of Apex isn't as crazy. You know what I'm saying? People can go on Call of Duty Mobile all day, but the name of Apex doesn't really ring in a mobile sense. So there's some people who are exclusively mobile players and have never really heard of Apex. So there's a lot of factors to consider on how they didn't perform as well as they should have or could have. But it's tough, bro. It's tough because they really innovated, and actually, again, for a long time we were talking about it on the pod as well. There were so many instances where Apex Mobile brought a lot more features that were progressive instead of the actual console game. Tencent were actually putting out more work in that version than people were doing on consoles, and it took them months to figure that out on consoles. They just now bringing in private matches and custom lobbies. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough to see, bro. It's really tough to see. It sucks for the people who again invested money, invested time as content creators, and just enjoyed that experience. I know I didn't really get much uptime with it, but it is what it is. But damn, it just feels that one feels rough for the mobile scene. I can't even run in front of you. And Battlefield Mobile didn't even see it. Didn't even see it. So it is what it is, man. Pushing on to this next one. Cancellations have been the theme of this week, unfortunately. A shock twist happened last night as Knockout City announced that their final season and cancellation is near, with season 9 being the last ride until they shut down servers on June 6th. So thoughts on this, bro? They Knockout City out of here too.
Yeah, Knockout City, I was kind of not necessarily surprised. As mean as that sounds, I love Knockout City, but I knew after playing it that at its core, it was a great casual game, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to keep people consistently playing. You would either need very high amounts of like content drops or just like a very high skill ceiling. That's how Apex was able to get away with having seasons of nothing really new, is because the skill ceiling in that game is so high that till this day people can play the game without any new content and still like progress and like feel like they're learning, feel like they're growing and that kind of thing. With Knockout City, after playing for about like a week or two, I kind of felt like I learned as much as I possibly could have before everything got really micromanagey, if that makes any sense. Like
Mhm.
you can only fake a throw so many times. You can only learn how to catch so many times. After you learn
Mhm.
the timing on it, if it doesn't really change, if there's not really ways of changing up uh that new skill to learn, if every time I throw the ball it's already gonna lock on, like a lot of the game is being played for you. It's
Mhm.
just if you don't have the content to back up a simple gameplay mechanic, then you just don't really have much to do, you know? Like after a while, the
Yeah.
game just kind of just feels like there's nothing more for you to do there.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. It's just it sucks because dang, I really do want to talk about this in depth at some point down the line. Just the state of free games and how they change. Because again, like, what do you think about a game like Warframe? When you think about like a Gotham City Imposters, when you think of like the OGs of free to play games, so to speak, like they were really packed with content. And all they again, they weren't instantly like, again, heavy hitters or whatever like that, but they had the content to back it up almost every single time. They had those content cycles, they had enough skill or intrigue or mystery into their gameplay loop to provide people with that. Oh, maybe I should latch on. Maybe I should stick around. Maybe I should, be into this. And nowadays, I feel like we're just not seeing it as much, or it's kind of a mix of where the skill gap of a lot of things have gotten so much like smaller, and the attention span's gotten so much smaller, and the skill gap's gotten so much higher in general players that people already master the game in a day. And if you don't have anything else to add, it's like, yo, we've already hit the top of the mountain. Like this is it. Already 3 days in. So I don't know what you want to do. It's a lot of factors in there, but I know Knockout City was again it was a fun game when I played it. I still have plenty of clips, and we got on there and had a hell of a time. Honestly, it was
Hmm.
still pretty fun when we played. You know what I'm saying? I will forever cherish some of those joints. So that's at least that's a positive, man. I think it was good when it was here, but it's tough, bro. Think about all the people that again invested time. We talked about this off stream as well. Think about all the people who are solely Knockout City creators. You know what I mean? Are
Hmm.
solely players of Knockout City. Predominantly, all their time goes in that direction. That's a kick in the balls, man. That's
Yeah.
that's a kick in the jewels.
Not to mention, when the Knockout City creators, they had to have like very high, like you needed to have streamed like up to 20 hours of Knockout City or something wild. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was
It was
they
some
were high.
crazy requirements.
Yeah, there was some high demands, and people were Knockout City creators. Like they got into the program because they were meeting the requirements, and it's like you did all that, and now those Knockout City creators really don't have much to show for it because they didn't really get a lot. So
Hmm.
it is what it is at this point, but it's sad to see, sad to see. And it's not that it was a bad game, but like in this day and age with so many games out, I can't imagine it thriving the way it should have. If this would have came out on PS3, PS4, like
Oh
early
yeah, nah. This would
PS4,
have this would have been a class. This would have been a cult classic. It would have
we
been a
would have
cult
had
classic,
so many fun memories. You're like, bro, remember when
bro.
Knockout City we were playing blah blah blah, like, but it's
Niggas
just
would have been people would have been in that same vein of like, yo, like, oh, I don't know if I don't think you played it, but like Doritos Crash Course, literally the most simplest game. It
yeah,
was literally just Wipeout, and it was so basic, but people love that game to death. I love
yeah,
that game to death because it came at a time where people were looking for different experiences, or they were open to it. And it was a small enough game, it was free, and people were on it for days, weeks, months, years, and a part of time, it also got to come into it, bro. This is a very tough market right now for live service games because there's so much content out there, and that's just a part of the beast right now. It's like you have to have content packed out the wazoo from day one. You have to consistently back that up, or else you will not survive. We've seen it with the biggest of games. We've seen it with the smallest of games. Anything that's a live continuing service is going to have the content from day one, and you have to have that pipeline ready to go for at least 1 to 2 years. And then you give yourself enough of a buffer to develop other stuff, or else people lose interest, people are gone, and then you're canceling games, you're shutting down services.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. Shoot. Insane. And perhaps the most damning story from this entire news, I guess, point here. Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, he reported that EA have officially canceled a single player game set in the Titanfall Apex universe, codenamed Titanfall Legends. Ugh. Ugh. That hurt. Some details have surfaced on that game as well. I want to go through some of the list here from shout out to Alpha Intel. provided that, and of course it was from Jeff Grubb. So shout outs to all those sources and informants here. So the single player game apparently featured BT and other Titanfall characters. Rampart apparently brought BT back to life. Players played as Blisk. Legends would show up and give you powers throughout the game. It was gonna be inspired by Doom Eternal, and of course it had the wall running back in the game. So I'm hurt.
This honestly, and this is like, I don't put on the tinfoil hat often because I'm very much a pessimist. I don't think anything good ever comes in life. But I think that if there was ever a time to do fake marketing, this is the time. Remember when Sonic was ugly? Like, if there was ever a time to do a PR stunt, it's this one. I think that right now, if they are smart people at EA, they dropped this information on purpose to see what the outcry and the outrage would look like, so that they understand, like, hey, oh, there's this many people upset about it, we're gonna bring it back. Like, that's something that I think would be like a pretty good idea on their part. Like, if they're just like, oh, we see that you guys want it, we're bringing back the Apex single player mode, even if it's like a $40 DLC, like something small, something 6 hours. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but you could even sell this thing in parts. It just doesn't make sense to me that they would do something like this and just let it die. You know, we're not getting Titanfall 4, we're not getting Titanfall 3, and we're definitely not getting anything new going on in Apex. So I don't know. I just don't see why they wouldn't branch out into this little area, because it's not like they have anything else going for them right now.
Let me switch hats with you, my friend. Let me become the pessimist. Let me do this. As good things are provided by EA, good things are taken away by EA. No offense, but you drop an absolute banger at Dead Space. Motive puts out an absolute banger. Comes out the gate hot. Wonderful scores, great reception, all that stuff. And the very next span of 2 days, it took 3 days. It was only three days. You cancel this. You cancel Knockout City. Mobile projects ended left, right, and center. Sure, it might be the economy. Sure, it might be all this stuff. Bottom line, I'm like, listen, they knew they were going to cut their losses so they can save their bottom line, potentially look better for a sale down the line or something like that. They want to tighten up the ship so they look as financially fit as possible. They want to look as financially healthy as possible, and they'll sacrifice what they need to sacrifice. And they sacrifice something that was very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. All right, there's a lot of potential behind it, but for the sake of the dollar, they will kill that dream. They will kill your dream. All right, so I don't think it would come back at this point. If it was that close to being done and they just dropped it off, unless they hand it all to another studio or somebody will, or Vince Zampella himself gets enough power in like 10 years to be like, yo, I'm doing it myself. I'm going to take that team. I'm putting money as the president of EA or whatever the hell he gets to. I'm going to put money behind it himself. But where he's at right now, he can't do it. He's working on 80 billion other projects. He's not doing that. They're going to get more Star Wars money. They're going to get more of this, more of that. This will get lost in the shuffle. I think we've lost, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is it. This is our Rogue One. As valiantly as we fought, I think this is it. I'm sorry. I would be surprised. I would be surprised. I would literally Sharpie a mustache and full beard on my face if Titanfall 3 came out at this point.
Oh no, I wasn't saying we're getting
no, or so, whatever this is. This is basically Titanfall. It's basically Titanfall 3, to be honest.
I didn't see it as Titanfall. I saw it as like a little DLC, but like I don't think we'll ever get Titanfall 3. I think the only way we get Titanfall 3 is if the Martians got the death beam pointed at the That's the only way.
We gotta take Iguodala.
We gotta take Iguodala.
Iguodala gotta make the shot for us to get this.
Like, we are not seeing Titanfall 3 unless there's no unless. Like, EA will sell the company before they get Titanfall 3. So unless EA sells the company to somebody else and they are like, yo, we need to make our money back, let's make Titanfall 3. But even then, I don't think it'll be good. Like we're never seeing quality games like that anymore, man. Except enjoy what you got, bro. It's not gonna get better. I'm sorry to be the pessimist.
I agree with you. Again, I'm supposed to be the author, so I'm supposed to be, here, but It's doom and gloom when I talk about this shit, man. This rest in peace to my homie, man. Rest in peace to Titanfall single player. Anything that had to do with Titanfall single player, just rest. Moment of silence, man. Press F in the chat. Press F in the chat. And that's not all. That's not all, folks. More out of left field news dropped, excuse me, that a bunch of free-to-play projects have been dropped. They out of here. Shutting down operations. Gone. Vamoosed. Vanished. Disappeared. Ended. To a permanent, you know what I'm saying, permanent status. It's gone. So those names include Crime Site, Crossfire X, Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dia Heroes Bonds, Echo VR, Love Live School Idol Festival, and Rumbleverse, which is ending on February 28th. So including the EA projects, we have those bunch. So thoughts on just all these free-to-play live service games just being under fire?
Is this a single player renaissance? Are we finally gonna get more single player games? I'm not happy with the disappearance of free to play games. I always say that I like free to play games because they're accessible to people who don't have the money for games. Like thinking about like Fortnite being a game that a lot of people in like low income houses can play with their friends without having to like drop any money on outside of like maybe playing for PlayStation Online or whatever. It sucks that a lot of free to play games are going out of business, but I also know that that's just not a very sustainable market, right? Like we can't keep making free games where you pay for stuff in them, because at the end of the day, like I'm at the point right now where like I just said about Fortnite, like this is the first Fortnite thing I'm not buying because I just don't have enough money to support Fortnite and to support League and to support all the other free to play games that I'm playing. There's just too many of them. I'm hoping that what's going on right now is what I'm doing in my free time, which is like I'll play my free to play game that I enjoy. I'll play the one or two that I'm interested in, and then I'll play my single player games. Like I don't think we need more free to play games, to be quite frank. I think we need to have. I think so. Honestly, we might need we may need more focus on single player experiences, making games fun without having to require other players in them. Because at the end of the day, the shooters are all the most important shooters out right now are all free to play. I don't think we're ever going to get people to really spend $60 on Overwatch 3 or get people to spend a lot of money on games that aren't Call of Duty. And even the Call of Duty franchise, I'm not going to lie, in maybe 10 to 20 years when like a lot of the people who play it die out, are you really going to get people to buy Call of Duty for $60 again? People are upset about paying $60 now. So I don't think the shooter market is going to go back into being a paid thing, but I think we can honestly get good single player experiences, man. I feel like that's an area that we don't really tap too much into. The only games that, and even in the shooter, even in the FPS space, like games like Doom Eternal, amazing games. Like
Facts.
we need to tap into that type of stuff, man. There's a lot of real estate. There's a lot of ways that you can make money off of gaming that don't involve making it free to play and then gouging the prices of all the cosmetics and stuff. Like I'd pay for a game to just have a game, you know?
100%. I feel like, again, it's the great gaming waves, bro. It's trends, it's movements, and the free to play battle pass wave is starting to die out. It's starting to phase out, and consumers are hip to the game now. They understand what's going on, and I feel like more often than not, if you don't have enough quality to sustain us being in your game, we're not gonna pay for any of these cosmetics. We're not gonna do that stuff. You know, there may be people that buy some stuff off rip, but you're gonna need that consistency of player base. You depend on the player base at some point to, you know, again, to justify your existence as an experience. And if you have a sudden burst at the beginning of a game, but you don't have enough content to keep people in that, you're gonna get chopped down the foot limb by limb. You're gone. You're just gonna keep month over month. You're just gonna get, you know, wasted away. And if you don't have the that quality backup, again, everything at the end of the day comes down to the quality of your game. Do you have enough content in it to sustain? What do you want to do? Are we gonna have it a funnier game, and for how long are we gonna have fun? But till shit gets like wacky, you know what I'm saying? Like it's tough. It's a tough place to be right now because people are starting to get tired of this format. People are starting to get really weary of just like, yo, we want a quality game, bro. I can look back and give you any example over smaller games that were less of a price, something like that. You can go straight off the top of the head. Wasn't the craziest thing, but it was one-time fee, play that single player. People said it was game of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like people said it was up there for game of the year, you know? Like at the end of the day, I don't think the parameters have changed. People still want to look for quality. People still want quality at the end of the day, and they'd be willing to pay for it. But the fact of it's not necessarily fast money, but the dressing of a certain payment system to get more money out of people, it's like it's getting old. It's getting tired. It's played out. We've seen hella people do it now, and it's like, yo, now you got to show something. You can't just have it. You can't just have a free to play game where everybody's in it and we'll just play it down because we don't have nothing else or we didn't pay anything for it, so we'll just be in there just because. Now you have to show more things for it consistently. You have to show up almost every month with something new, and you got to validate yourself. That free to play lane is just
The
it's a
well is
pain in the
dry.
ass to be in. The well is dry. Thank you. The well is dry, and we're looking for other sources of water, man. I'd rather be in the spring at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's smaller, but at least I know this water's good. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Shoot, man. Crazy times, man. Crazy times. Mm-mm-mm. I honestly can't believe it. Shit is wild. Dang. I wanted to talk to King Standing for this one, but but after some copyright fights, money laundering claims, and all that stuff, Fantastic have finally released some gameplay of the day before. Yes, the open world MMO has finally dropped some gameplay. Most of it was just like a foot tour of the environments and character squads as they like traverse some suburbs, the city, some road checkpoints. They had a little workbench system that they showed off. Had a couple of zombies in there for a vertical gameplay slice. But yeah, what'd you make of it? What'd you make of the day before, man?
When I was watching this game, I was like, man, I'm gonna go play State of Decay 2, and I downloaded State of Decay 2. That's what I did because I'm not gonna wait for this game at all. I'm gonna scratch that zombie itch, and I'm gonna just go on about my day. And you know what else I did? Actually, I saw this. I went back and watched the trailer again because I was like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe State of Decay isn't gonna scratch this. So I was like, oh, you know what else? I'm gonna go make sure I wish list Sons of the Forest. That's another really good. That's another really good game.
Got him.
Like I was like. That's a game that has a release date this month. I'm gonna go make sure I get on top of that when that game comes out. That's kind of just where I'm at, man. I'm tired of these. I'm tired of people like of edging me for fucking 3 years to give me a game that's gonna be mid on release. Like this game better drop like hot fire, and I will eat my words if this game is good. I'll play with y'all. I'll jump on the UK servers, lag my ass off with King. Get it popping, but. As of right now, man, I'm tired of games being released. Like, why are you telling me this 8 years before the game comes out, bro? Like this, it just doesn't make sense, bro. Just shut up and do the work. But it doesn't seem like y'all don't want a good game. Y'all want the accolades
buzz.
of a good game.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
They want the hype. They want people behind it without actually delivering. I'm like, hey, yo, bro. Where's the sound in your game, bro? I hear footsteps and one zombie growl, bro. Where's the atmosphere? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they fix up, bro. Y'all don't even got the IP registered.
Bro, it's starting to become ridiculous at this point. I love that everybody has good ideas, man. Me and Tripp will sit in a Discord longer than 30 minutes and come out with like 7 games that would be fucking amazing if we had the development.
I quite literally thought of an idea today on the toilet of a game idea, and I wrote it down. I will tell you this after the stream. I was sitting on the toilet, and I thought of a game idea. Like, yo, if I had this IP, we could actually make that crack.
Yeah.
If it came back in the way it should have come, I'll tell you after stream. But literally, case in point, yes.
Like I feel like what me and Tripp will think of a cool game idea, and we'll just be like, that was a cool idea. If we ever get the resources to make it, we'll make it. But I feel like these dudes get good ideas, and they're like, yo, I'm gonna make as much buzz about this idea as possible, and I'm gonna keep the buzz going while we're developing it. Like, bro, shut it up. Like, shut it down. I shouldn't hear about this game as much as I'm hearing about it because it's not out. It's not out. I don't look for new games to hear about. When a game hits my ear, it's because it's gotten to the point where even like basic people can are hearing it. And the fact that I'm hearing about this game before even a beta is out for me, there's no point. Like, there's just no point. By the time this game comes out, I'm gonna be tired and have played DayZ 3 times.
You know, the craziest thing is the Discord didn't even get any snippets, not a picture, not a footage, not a nothing. They barely got anything. They got barely any assets. And that's their official Discord. I'm like, bro, aren't y'all supposed to be like feeding this information at least pretty consistent, or at least like either shutting up or going full bore and giving people what they want?
Yeah.
Apparently not. Apparently not. But I'll speak on the trailer for a minute. I'll give him this. The environment and the scale looks actually pretty crazy. I actually like that. I do like that, and the character models look pretty smooth. You know what I'm saying? The aesthetic of them is smooth. The movement, I don't know how I feel about the movement. Probably a little bit clunky, but I mean, what zombie game really isn't as clunky? You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong, but most of them are pretty standard. Not too much crazy movement. But honestly, if you're just gonna be a less technical division with zombies in there, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You gotta compel me with some more aside from that. You gotta really bring it home. I didn't hear any of the atmospherics. Some of the sound quality was really, really bare bones. So I, I I'm curious to know what part of the process they're in for. If they said they needed to delay it, this is supposed to come out like in March or February. It's supposed to come out like relatively soon, right? Before the 9-month delay because
Yeah.
they were, they had an IP issue or something like that, which I still think they actually do, but like, whatever. They said they were gonna delay it anyway. So I'm just like, yo, y'all got a lot of work to do in this like 7, 8, 9 months, bro. To really wow me. Like, yo, if it was, crazy, gritty, atmospheric, like if it's like a Last of Us 2 level of quality and it's like in its approach of like, oh, this atmosphere is kind of insane. I'd be like, you know what? Cool. But it's showing super, super bare bones right now. I'm like, it's not compelling me. It's not moving. It's not moving me.
Yeah. I I'm kind of just like whatever about it. I'm gonna just wait to see what happens. Truthfully.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm, bro. Honestly, I could literally just go play Back for Blood, State of Decay, and just be chilling. I did that Sons of the Forest gonna be cracked though.
Yeah.
I played Sons of the Forest twice, and I rage quit every time just because I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. That's a crazy game, and I do want to play it again.
No, we for
I
sure should get a sesh going because I
no,
have the forest and I'm a fan of it. Me and Panda played a good amount of it, but we never beat it
mhm.
because again we were also scared of it.
I didn't even know there was a story for real for real.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, there's some little tidbits here, but I just need to survive. Fuck all that.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I'm definitely down to go back. Yeah, shout out Sons of the Forest. Hey man, when your game isn't hitting that like it's supposed to, we'll talk about another one on your topic. It is what it is. All right, moving on to the next story here. Some recent business news popped up that apparently Amazon have officially bought the rights to the Tomb Raider IP from the Embracer Group for a whopping $600 million, blowing out the $300 million that Embracer paid for Tomb Raider and several other IPs in their deal to take pieces of Square Enix last year. So, dang, Square Enix gave up shillings for that, and they ended up, you know what I'm saying? Embracer got the come up. They made a flip. They made a
Yeah.
crazy flip. So I thought saw this, but
They got an IP and they freaked it, as Kendrick would say. They literally it's like a crazy come up. They didn't even do anything with it. They just said we own it, and they were like, "Yo, you want it?" I think
Yeah.
it might have had to do with The Last of Us being this popular. It could have been like, "Yo, we're trying to make a TV show," which I think Tomb Raider could translate well, depending
So a
on.
Tomb Raider reboot, that other one with like some what's her name, Vikander, didn't happen. I don't know what that was. That did not
Yeah,
happen in my eyes.
you're
That's
talking about
whatever.
the TV. There was a remake
No,
with the
there was a
TV show.
movie. There was a movie. No, there was definitely a movie.
Oh,
Yeah, it
interesting.
was in conjunction with the games. Like it looked like the aesthetic looked like it was the
Right,
game reboot. There was
right.
a movie based off that, and I was like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
cool. You can keep that. But if they, you know what I'm saying,
No, for sure.
infuse a bit. If it was a TV series, it would actually go crazy.
It could be
I think
even
it
a
would,
limited series. I think it would be pretty sick.
I think it will go crazy as a limited series. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Like
I think it would actually go nuts.
you get a good little 6 episode, but like that's what I think is. I think that's where that money came from. It's like, yo,
Mhm,
maybe we need to lock in some IPs so that we can, because I think they locked in what Warhammer,
mhm.
they locked in Warhammer, they locked in God of War, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, yep.
I think they're just trying to build up a
Mhm.
repertoire. They're trying to become the gaming hub, like a TV gaming hub, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Um,
They're trying to get that on. And with their games department as well. I know
yeah,
Crystal
they
Dynamics is
do.
working on the next Tomb Raider, but then they only have New World. They have like a couple other
They have
smaller
New
things, but
World. They have more publishing than anything. Like they have New World.
yeah.
They also have Lost Ark. But these are games that are made.
Ah,
They're made
yeah.
by. I think New World was made by Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. I could be
Yeah, New
wrong
World
about that
was.
though.
It was
But
a studio under them. It was a direct studio under them that was like fresh.
yeah, Lost Ark is from Korea, and they brought it to the states. They brought it to this
Mm,
hemisphere. So that wasn't like they made that. They just brought it.
mhm.
So they're
Yeah.
still kind of fresh. They're still kind of hands off with it, but. I think that this
Yeah.
is going to be it's going to be interesting to see. I think that a Tomb Raider show would be sick, but that's my idea of where it's going, because they could easily just make more video games. I think the video
Yeah.
games, they don't have, the Uncharted doesn't have a lane really. So I think that they could do, they could do with this, they could do a lot with this.
100%. I agree. And it's like they have nothing but time because Uncharted is going to be like a little bit of a on a downturn. Like nothing's happening with it for now. So it is what it is. They can make some good stuff with it, man. Again, on the game front, I know like with almost like 90% of certainty that a game will come out in the next like 3 or 4 years for Tomb Raider. Like they're at work on it. I know Crystal Dynamics is going to be putting one out. But in terms of everything else, other IPs, like why not go for it? Why not shoot for it, man? People have been going crazy. And I'm telling you, if you put enough backing behind it, a Tomb Raider series would go crazy. It would go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Give it an Angelina Jolie charm back. You know what I'm saying? The casting
Yeah.
got to be new, of course, but you know what I mean. Like
No,
put
1000%.
put the magic back behind the character. Put that shit in the same level of intrigue and action as like a, you know what I'm saying, like one of those basic adventure movies. You've seen literally the Uncharted movie do it. If you put Laura Croft in like half of those scenes, it'll be more interesting just because the character is.
Yeah.
So they got some room to work with this, but yeah, L of the week got to go to Square Enix though, because dang, they got fleeced.
Could have made a bag.
They sold it for a portion of that 300 million. They was like, yeah, take it, we don't want it. They must be pissed looking at the news this morning, like 600 motherfucker.
They're looking at the developers of Final Fantasy like, yo, you better not flop, bro.
Bro, 16, the next update for 14, all of it. Like, yeah, what's happening now? Rebirth better rebirth my pockets.
Yeah.
I need to let y'all know. Shoot, bro, that's crazy. But yeah, on to the next story here. A bit of a delay for Jedi Survivor as it's been pushed back by about 6 weeks to April 28th, giving the studio more time to polish and put the finishing touches on the game. Just thoughts on the pushback?
Take your time. It sucks because we've seen so much of it so far. That's the only problem. But again, if you guys really need to start having faith in your developers and being like, yo, can y'all deliver? And the developers need to be straight shooters and be like, no, we can't. And just off the rip delay it. Because honestly, if that were the case, they should have never said anything at Game Awards if they were gonna if they knew that this was gonna happen.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. More and more, I'm agreeing with how Black Myth Wukong is going about things. They're at least giving you windows. They're like they listen. They're not saying shit. They're just like, hey, hold this little gameplay. It'll come out whenever. Hold this little gameplay. It's coming out 2020 something. It's holding out summer 2024. And the next time they might get more like, you know, decrease. They're not giving you more than you can chew or more than you can expect, but at least giving you a little bit something to latch onto. So that's tough. But yeah, I kind of I'm liking how at least they're delivering the content and drip feeding the release dates and stuff. So that's cool. Jedi Survivor, again, take your time. That's all I say. I don't care. Literally, you dropped it at even better time because that's closer to my birthday. So I won't be playing it closer to my birthday. So it is what it is. I'm fine with that. I'll just ask for a couple extra days off if that's the case. So do what you got to do. I have no doubt that this will be a banger. So yeah, just do what you can to polish the game. The fact that they got granted that time anyways, you know what I'm saying? I know EA running a certain clock. They're in a very strenuous situation right now. So giving them more time to work on it like that is out the blue. Sign of the times, or EA actually turn a leaf on this front, or they actually believe in the game so much that they allowed it that time. You know, like there's a lot of things that play into it. But in any case, we want the best Jedi Survivor possible. So do what you need to do. All right, moving on to the next story. Got a few new juicy details on the upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake. According to Game Informer's brand new feature, the game will have side quests in the game, some brand new enemy types, a new crossbow weapon, no QTEs, increased knife carrying capacity, new mechanics to use R3 to command Ashley around, and also basically had that direction to basically turn everything from the original game up to an 11. So a lot of, you know, over the top action, all that stuff like that. Just more Resident Evil 3 in that sense. So how'd you feel about the new changes?
I think my favorite thing was probably no more quick time events. I'm not gonna lie to you. And this is literally just a preference thing. I see cutscenes as like a little reward when I play video games. So like I like to put my controller down. I like to just enjoy the story because I play a lot of very narrative driven games. So like when I'm watching Kratos give like a heartwarming speech, I don't want to be ready to press circle to hug my kid. You know what I'm saying? So like I enjoy no QTEs in games, but I know that like some people do, and I know that this game had a lot of those, and I know that it was like one of the staples of this game. But I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. everything else seems like a really good addition. Side quest is an interesting addition, but I don't think that this will be a bad thing because it'll just increase the longevity of this game. Because my concern would be like, I don't want to buy a game, beat it really quick, and have nothing else to play for, nothing more. Does this game need to be extended? Maybe, maybe not. Time will tell. But I'm not against anything that they just announced here.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, QTEs have been a dying breed of games. It's been a dying mechanic for a long time. Like, again, like God of War Ragnarok is really the last thing I've seen that has QTEs like a major game. You know what I'm
Guardians of the
saying?
Galaxy was that was the last one.
Guardians of the
That was the last
Galaxy as
one that was
well.
like important, but you can turn those off too. Like,
Yeah. And that was a toggle option. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I think Ragnarok was the only thing, and it was loosely. You know what
it
I'm
was
saying?
very
Ragnarok.
loose. It was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
finish this monster.
Yeah, literally that. Maybe you hit R2 once to hit all the arrows and stuff on
Yeah.
somebody. Like very, very loose thing. So it's been pulled back a lot over the years, and I think it's gonna eventually, you know what I'm saying, hit a very, very minimal state with it. So I'm not mad at that. Just fit it to the modern time. That's cool. Side missions, give me more enemy types, give me more new crossbows. Sounds cool. Better knives, more knives. Give me that. New commands for Ashley actually is good because those parts of the game are so fucking annoying. Oh my gosh, the Ashley part used to be a pain in my ass. Oh my gosh. Damn, girl couldn't even escape for shit, man. I'm like, damn, just wriggle a little bit more. Anyways, that's PTSD. But that sounds good as well. Again, simple commands for it. I still can't wait for this game. Again, I'm not the horror guy, but Resident Evil 4 is one of them ones for me. So I'm still tapping in. This actually sounds like really, really sound changes. Shouts to them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I want to go back and play Resident Evil 2, but then the only reason I don't like the survival horror genre is just because, like, man, when I run out of bullets, I'm pissed. I'm like, God damn, bro, like,
It shit feel you feel like ass, bro. I ain't gonna fight you. I ain't gonna get
bro,
too close.
like,
You know what I'm saying? Now we just here.
I'm over here like not wasting bullets because I'm shooting zombies in the head to kill them and they don't die. And then I'm like, dog, I have no more bullets, but I know if I don't, like, in any real zombie world, you would make sure every zombie that you come across, you would kill it because it's going to be a problem later. Like, that's the thing that always be blowing me. But if I do that, I'm going to waste all my bullets and then I'm going to get hit by like a crazy spider walking dude. And I'm like, oh, dude.
Yep.
But I definitely might tap in, even if it's on easy mode. I might tap in just to know the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait. Honestly, I'm gonna have a hell of a time. Actually, I might even stream some of that. I ain't gonna lie. It might be a pain in the ass, but I might stream some of that, which is crazy. Moving forward, I had a report and some news coming out of the E3 camp for this year that's suggesting that the big three, i.e., Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo, will not be at E3, with reportedly no presence on the stream or the show floor. Now, each company will likely have events around that time frame. For example, Xbox was planning a showcase and open floor in LA during E3 time, but just not at E3 per their last developer direct. So, I mean, thoughts on this? E3, what's happening?
E3 should have stayed dead. I said that during the Summer Game Awards, and I negative Nancy, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Watching the Summer Games Fest,
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm watching Summer's Games Fest and being like, oh, these are some pretty cool games they showed off, and then everybody being like, oh, E3 died for this. Oh, E3, look at your E3 now. Look at what you. This is exactly what happened with G4. Is everybody was like super gassed, and if you didn't like it, if you really, really wanted it back, you guys were asking for it. Y'all better pull up to this E3 event, but I can already see a lot of people being like, well, I'm not going to watch it then. Well, you wanted this. Like, this is what you wanted. You don't, then keep it a stack. This isn't what you wanted. What you wanted was more news. You didn't want E3. You didn't care about E3. You cared about what E3 brought to the table. Like, that's what it is. And this is what's annoying is, like, now we have E3 and E3 is going to be whack. And now we're going to have Summer Games Fest. And the people that were going to be at Summer Games Fest are going to be at E3. So now we got to watch two conferences because you idiots couldn't just accept the fact that E3 is called something else now. It's a different event. So now I got to watch through E3 and they're going to show me some subpar games with some pretty solid ones mixed in. Then I got to watch Game Fest, Summer Games Fest, which is going to have some subpar games with some pretty cool ones mixed in instead of watching one good direct with solid games. Like, now it's all diluted and we got to watch 80 hours of people talking. Like, bro, come on now. Come on, please.
Yeah. Last year was a funny time, bro. It said hashtag, it was not my E3 or something like that.
Yeah, not my E3, yeah, you idiots.
Yeah, they was really on dicks for that. And I was like, bro, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
literally the same exact thing. And honestly, it's getting even worse. Like barely, Summer Game Fest is barely getting shit. Y'all just lucky that the Mountain Dew and Dorito Pope is pulling enough strings to get something on his show. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better thank your lucky stars for that, man. Or else it would have been PC Gamer Show talking at a desk for 5 hours about Homeworld 87 or something like that. No disrespect to Homeworld, but you know what I mean? Like some random, like not the most top of the line AAA games that you want to hear about off the rip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of things could have went wrong in South, but it's the same format, bro. It's the same exact thing. Having E3 back has no relevance to what these companies are going to do. If you guys remember correctly, Sony and them was leaving E3 before E3 died.
Yeah.
They was not showing up. Nintendo was not showing up. They didn't care. At least on the stream side, they didn't care. They started hosting their own directs, and everybody caught on. We're just gonna host our own direct. We're just gonna cut the middleman out and stop paying these fees to get on these streams when we have a bigger audience than this actual platform.
Yeah.
It's simple math at this point. You guys just got to get over it, bro. I am very fond of E3. I am very appreciative for the moments that E3 is given. We was talking about again a random game theory a while ago, and I was like, "Yo, think about all the moments that happened in certain years." 2013 E3, I literally I almost lost my mind that day because of Kingdom Hearts 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's just certain things that EA brought a magic to, but you got to acknowledge that era's gone. That era's gone, bro. You're not gonna have it all in one place anymore. Everything's going to be separated. Everything's going to be fragmented just because of how brands are nowadays. They're big enough, they're self-sustaining enough to understand that they don't need to pay this money to be on one platform to showcase their stuff when they can just do it and all people will flock to them. People who want news online, they'll make it off the stuff that we do. So just face facts, bro.
It's quiet.
It's quiet, bro. It's quiet hours for them for right now, bro. Unless they just, some of them have a change of heart and decide showing up. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? I know Capcom's on stuff like that show up, and cool, that's what's up. But what else? What else? If the big three not showing up, that's kind of tough for anybody, any situation. This is literally a pet cemetery situation, bro. You brought your dog back to life, you brought your cat back to life, but look at the monster you made. Look at it's not the same. It's not the same person right now. So, hey man, this is on y'all. This is y'all fault. This is y'all fault. Yeah, y'all said whoever said he wanted E3 back, this is y'all fault.
Congratulations
on you. No, X. All right, moving into the trailer trove. We got the section that we got more watchable media and such. Wanted to just double check this. Oh my gosh, hold on. I'll get it off the VOD. I wasn't recording this. Damn, I hate it here. This is why we got live streams, baby. Oh my gosh. Calm minds. Anyways, into the trailer trove, the section with much more watchable media and stuff, the TV series, the animes, and all that good stuff. First and foremost, let's talk about Netflix, man. They aren't the place for love anymore, guys. Apparently, they dropped kind of like a shadow bombshell that's potentially their new anti-password sharing policy. So it stated in an article that they dropped on their website that every month the device that you're using Netflix on, it has to be logged in on your home network, or it will be basically just banned. It'll be blocked. It'll be out of there. And you have to do it every 31 days, you know what I'm saying, to reconnect to your home network, or else you're not using that device anymore. Currently being tested in a few South American countries. People caught on to this and they were like, what the hell is this? And they've been cooking Netflix for actual days now. It's been several days since this has happened. And they just like, we don't know what happened. That was an error on the site, and they took it down. They took it down. They didn't say nothing of it. So are we getting the policy? Maybe they're testing out ways to cut out that middleman for sharing passwords. Though they are definitely putting something on the operating table to see if it fits. So, how do you feel about Netflix moving how they moving?
Netflix needs to learn how to make money, because I feel like Netflix had one good idea, which was let's make movies streamable. And that was the best idea they had, and they've been riding on those coattails for a while. And then the next idea was like, let's make Stranger Things. Like, I feel like they make one really big leap and then find ways to step themselves back, because they had a lead in the content sharing streaming space, and look at where we are now. There was so much. They had so much. They literally created the genre. And they're not even
cooked.
Yeah, like you ask people right now, what's your favorite streaming platform? A lot of people
Disney Plus or HBO Max.
like
One of those two.
they're not saying Netflix. The people who are saying Netflix only use Netflix. They're not really. They're like,
Facts.
oh, I just don't feel like paying for Hulu or whatever.
Facts.
Like,
And you don't have a friend's password, my friend. You
Yeah.
don't have that. You know what I'm saying? You're slacking.
it's nuts. And the thing is that like this whole like we're gonna cut back on password sharing. I don't know why you would announce that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why you didn't just make it a secret update that just started happening. Because this was stupid. And giving a date was stupid because that we're gonna be making fun of you until that date. And now here you are on the date, and now it got pulled back. Like you guys are, I don't know. I guess, bro. Just keep making like Netflix. You guys are just messing up, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. There's no defending you guys. Like when people say Netflix sucks, I'm just kind of just like, yeah, no, I see that. I see that. If somebody says like, yo, HBO Max is garbage, I'm like, bro, but have you seen The Last of Us? Like that's like a knee-jerk reaction. When people say, yo, Netflix, I'm gonna cancel my Netflix subscription, I'm like, I feel that. Like that's as much as I can say.
Like it's crazy. There's not much you can contest with that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, hey, listen, Netflix used to have them joints on there, but like now it's like, yo, I don't know if I could defend you like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I won't. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I'm just like, listen, if it comes to that and you really trying to take passwords and I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna just start counting and I'll stop wherever I stop. But it's gonna be pretty early in that 1 to 10 if you get my drift. You know what I'm saying? You can if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Don't go past 5 and maybe erase 4. But you know what I mean? It's whatever, man. Netflix is gonna do what they do, bro. But I have a contingency plan for whatever. I'm gonna watch my shows if I need to.
Facts. There are ways of getting around things.
I'm just saying, bro. Just start counting and stop before 4. That's all. Allegedly. All right, moving down the list here. So Eddie Murphy's been on a media run lately, taking a lot of interviews and with different publications, and got a question concerning whether he will return to the Shrek franchise as Donkey, and was very positive in response, actually, and even took it a step further. Not only did he say he would return anytime to the franchise, but was quoted saying, they did Puss in Boots movies. They should have did a Donkey movie, man. Donkey is funnier than Puss in Boots. You know what I'm saying? With the utmost confidence in his voice, but he was kind of ribbing though, but still, you know what I'm saying? The quote was out there, but the door's kind of open, it seems. I mean, thoughts on maybe Donkey return to the franchise? I don't know how you feel about it.
I'm happy to see Eddie Murphy in movies again. I feel like he took a huge break.
Period.
I think
Facts.
I think it's a good thing to see him back in movies. I also I'm happy he took that break because like at one point Eddie Murphy
100%.
was in like every movie. And I'm happy that he was able to go live life. But
factuals.
Do I want a Shrek spinoff? No. I didn't even want the Puss in Boots movie, but now I hear so many good things. I have to go watch that movie.
I heard it was gas.
I heard it was insane.
Gas.
But besides the point, do I want another Shrek spinoff? Not really. I feel like I like the franchise, but I didn't watch past 2 because I was like, okay, we're getting a little ridiculous now. Actually, no, I think I saw 3 too. I think I saw 3. But
and the third wasn't even that bad. The third was actually decent. I'm sorry. People say what they need to say. The fourth, whatever. I don't care about the fourth. But that
I think I saw the third, and I don't think I hated it. But like when I got to like 4, I was like, no,
yeah, 4 was like, all right, we're pushing it. Yeah, like, 4 was def pushing it. I was like, whatever. I'm out of there. But everything else besides 4 was decent. Y'all can't claim on that. The Puss in Boots movie was decent. The first one was decent. The first 3 Shrek movies was fire. I don't care what nobody says. All 3 cook crack. You know what I'm saying? 2, 1, and then 3 in that order. But yes.
Yeah, I would like to see Eddie Murphy in more movies, but do I want another Shrek movie? No, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I hear it. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. If we have Donkey, we would need to have somebody else in there. Like, I don't know. He would have to have somebody next to him to be in a movie. That's just my personal opinion. He would have to have somebody next to him. Now, if it was Puss and Donkey in a movie, I feel like that would be crack. That would be a very, very well-balanced movie. Because you've already had the staying power of Puss in Boots in the franchise. He can stand on his own too. That's his series. He's done what he does. I haven't seen the Puss in Boots movie, so I don't know what happens to them. But I'm saying, from an IP standpoint, having them two next to each other, who generally didn't even like each other, it's a good chemistry between both of them in the movies. So them on like a buddy cop type beat, literally Beverly Hills Cop on a buddy cop type beat in the Shrek universe, like that would be kind of fire. I just think personally, as 85% of a comedic character that Donkey is, you would need to have somebody next to him to balance it out, or at least give him a little bit of breath to jump in and out, and somebody else has the comedy, like the weight of it, the brunt of it in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's hard for him to play all roles. Like Puss in Boots can do that because I think they gave him the room to off the rip. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
convey other emotion besides the comedic side of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Donkey did too, but in a much lesser degree than Puss in Boots. But that pairing, that would be perfect for Donkey to come back in. That's my personal opinion.
1000%.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear it. All right. So next story here on the Trailer Trove, PS5 kicked off a brand new ad campaign titled Live from PS5, styling some of the experiences on tap from Sony in a news format. Even had like a giant Leviathan axe somewhere in London, which was cool to see. Keen, did you see it? Yeah, no, he definitely saw something. Word. Okay. He is not like blinked once this whole podcast, which is crazy. You know, so he's probably saw something. But anyways, some inquisitive audience members noticed a part of the footage that had a young woman in a cave eyeing down some artifact and blowing dust off it, and have speculated that it could be Uncharted, but a whole new arc with a female protagonist, which potentially could be the daughter of Nathan Drake and Elena Fisher, Cassie. Now, this made me run back in my head and think of two specific things. One, the ending of Uncharted definitely did leave off with Cassie, the little teenage girl. She found out what Nathan Drake and Elena did before with all the artifacts in their house. She found out about all the historical stuff and probably started asking questions. That's probably a likely story. And two, Naughty Dog said they moved on from the IP. That doesn't necessarily mean the IP is dead. And if I know PlayStation, I'm understanding PlayStation, they're not leaving a breadwinner to rest for too damn long. So this could be a dangerously high likelihood that the IP will definitely continue, probably with the new studio and more Uncharted. So thoughts on this?
I'm happy I get to be the pessimist again. I do not think that that is a PlayStation trait of being like, oh, this franchise, we can't forget this for too long. I think the Sly fans, the Infamous fans, the Killzone
No.
fans.
You got to hear the caveat though. The caveat: successful franchises. I mean, not in terms of critical reception, money. Let me qualify. Wait. No, I didn't
This
feel
is
like
going
that.
on the internet. I just hope you know.
Shut up. I'm gonna admit this clip myself. I will not let King post this. Ever. From a monetary standpoint, they've already done an Uncharted movie. They've already done a whole series and everything like that. Commercially, it is a very successful IP. PlayStation, in the way that they are now, would never let that die. They would never, ever let that go away. No matter how much you think it can be laid to rest, PlayStation is PlayStation. The game is the game. They gonna put that somewhere. So I can see this happening. I see a very high likelihood of them pushing it to somewhere, maybe another internal studio. Well, definitely another internal studio. I don't know if it's gonna be like just Sony Interactive Entertainment or something like that. Something. But it's not dead. That's all I'm saying. But I ain't mean like that.
All right, well, you heard it here first, folks. If your game sucks like Sly Cooper and Infamous, it's not gonna get another game. Oh man, but no,
That is crazy.
I don't think we're gonna get another Uncharted. Maybe an Uncharted TV show, but I don't think not even a TV show, because we got the movies. I don't even think we're gonna get any Uncharted anytime soon. And I just want that to be true, because I think that it stopped at a really, really good point. And I don't think that IP needs another one, especially with Tomb Raider still floating around.
Man. Yeah, I agree, but then there's just the slight concept that Sony really just don't care about what's happening everywhere else. They're just gonna do shit because they like to do shit and they like making money at some point. So within their bounds of reason, I feel like it's gonna be a probability, not a possibility, that this shit will come back. I just want a certain buffer of time. Like, give me like 5-6 years. Give me 5 years before another Uncharted, please. Just let my mind forget about Uncharted for a little bit and just start to reminisce about the old times and then bring a new one forward. I will be fine with that. You can live your life. I will accept that. But knowing how Sony is, we gonna get this shit in 2024. It's coming out in 2024, and it's gonna come out with a brand new movie. You know what I'm saying? The pro tag gonna have the merchandise, all that stuff loaded up, ready to roll. And ah, we're in for it. We're in for it. So it's gonna be a fun time, I guess.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, again, and the crazy thing is, again, I like Uncharted. I'm not opposed to Uncharted, but like, damn,
I
just
don't think you
let it
do.
rest. I actually do, bro. I actually do. But I just want to let it rest for like 5-10 minutes or years. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
You let a game rest for 6 years, that game is not coming back. I could be wrong. Let us know in the comment section of
Nah.
games that went out 6
Nah,
years ago
yeah.
and came back and are still popular. I could be wrong. The only game that
You
can do
could-
that
nah.
is
Hold on.
GTA.
GTA was one. Shit. Now you gonna make me think. Fuck. What games went out for like 6 years and didn't come back?
Let us know in the comment section.
You could technically say that Halo 3 and then Halo Infinite, because I did not really check in for Halo 4 or 5.
That does not count. There's a Halo
Fuck.
between those games. Does not count.
Fuck. All right. Damn. You go, come on. All right. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. Damn. All right. It's fine. We'll figure it out. All right. Moving on to the last story of the trailer trove, and we got a whopper. This week, all of the DC masses, they huddled around James Gunn's Twitter account as the next slate of DCU movies in the overhaul and news on the general direction of the IPs were given out. Now, a lot of information was given in this. It was like a 5-6 minute video, so bear with me here. He dropped the first bombshell on the continuity and clear labeling of other projects first and foremost, as he announced that projects in Matt Reeves' Batman saga, Todd Phillips' Joker movies, and other outside projects will be clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, existing outside of the main continuity of its own. He then ran down the list of the upcoming projects that will be set in some order and kick off the DCU, including the already announced projects, which would be Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which ties directly into the DCU, and Shazam will apparently probably still be in by the news of this. The Flash, which is still set to reset everything, and that's going on as scheduled, which is crazy. Ezra Miller, I don't know how he's still there, whatever. Blue Beetle, which is still set to be coming out next year, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which should be the last of the already announced projects, which takes us into Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters of the DCU arc, so to speak. That's what it was labeled as. So we had more than a few shows, actually a good handful, starting with Creature Commandos, which is going to be a group of military superhumans. Usually they fought in the 80s, but now it's adapted to fight in the modern day. Had a Weasel from Suicide Squad, Nina Marzouski, Eric Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, Rick Flag's father, and a whole lot more. Was slated to be animated, but has the potential for those same voice actors to pop up in live action in later projects as well. Next up, we had the show Waller, which is going to be a live action series set between Peacemaker season 1 and 2, where the main character, of course, played by Viola Davis, will team up with members of Team Peacemaker to do some wild, crazy, off the wall stuff. Next up, we had Superman Legacy, which was dubbed as the true start to the DCU, written by James Gunn, focusing on a much younger Clark Kent trying to balance all of it in the world, his heritage, being a human among Earth, and all that good stuff like that, coming July 11th, 2025. Next up, we had Lanterns, an HBO Max live action series, featuring Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan doing their thing, kind of a true detective style type of delivery on the screen. Has a mystery that's apparently connected to a bigger DCU story. Going to be interesting to see that. Next up, we had The Authority, which is going to be a feature film focused on a group of morally great heroes that look to solve things by any means necessary that are based on the Marvelous Wildstorm character roster. Next, we have Paradise Lost, which would be a TV series based on Themyscira or Paradise Island, the home of the Amazonians, with some flavor of Game of Thrones / Westerosi vibes in that show. Next up, we had The Brave and the Bold, which would be DCU's introduction of a Batman and the Bat family, with his son Damian Wayne, aka Red Robin, being an active component in the film based on Grant Morrison's Batman run, which could potentially have ties to Talia al Ghul, all that good stuff like that, League of Shadows. Next up, we had Booster Gold. Also, side note, your reactions to all this shit is hilarious. Booster Gold is a TV series about a hero who takes tech from the future and brings it into the present day, trying to be a hero and loved by all, but he's like losers eye vibes. Like it's gonna be a pretty comedic show from the sound of it. Next up, we had Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is gonna center in on Kara Zor-El, or Clark's cousin Supergirl, which aims to be a much more hardcore contrast to the Superman that we'll see in the DCU. And lastly, we had Swamp Thing, which is gonna be a dark horror film that speaks to the origins of the character. So this is labeled as DC Elseworlds apparently, but it will have some things that will lead directly into DCU plot lines. And last point that we got was basically James Gunn said that characters signing on to DCU actor jobs, they will be aligned through all forms of media. So the same characters that will be in the films, they'll be in the TV shows, they'll be voice acting the characters and games and animated series. They're going to be continuity all across those lines. So thoughts on all the new structure, all the bounds, the new projects, when that's a lot of stuff.
That's my problem. I think that was too much. I think half of that would have been like sufficed. There's a lot going on here, and you're telling us all this right now. I know Marvel does it, and I know, but they're also like, when Marvel announces Phase 4,
They at least had the PowerPoint slide.
no, when they announce Phase 4, we're in Phase 3, so we have a lot to watch before we get to Phase 4. Like I'm never worried about when the next Marvel movie's coming out, because I know I got at least a year of Marvel before the next stuff comes. Oh God, this is a lot of stuff. James Gunn, chill out, bro. So the one thing that stood out to me was Damian Wayne is gonna be Red Robin. Is that what was on there?
He's gonna be Robin. Yum. He's gonna be Robin.
Okay, because if he's Red Robin, then I'm already pissed because he's not supposed to be Red Robin. That's supposed to be
No. He's gonna be Robin. My fault. No, just regular Robin. My fault. I thought you were joking. I thought you were talking about Red Robin.
No. There is a Red Robin. That's why I was like,
what does Red Robin or the restaurant Red Robin have to do with this? Just regular Robin. No.
Brave and the Bold. Actually, there was a Brave and the Bold TV show that I actually really enjoyed because
Brave and the Bold was fire.
Yeah, it was so good, but people did not watch it. That game, it was such a good show, and it introduced me to a lot of the DC world. I think that there's a lot of good in here. A lot of things I'm a little concerned about. Green Lantern TV show is an interesting idea. I'm not against it, but that's
we gonna have to fight, man.
It's just the fact of like CGI. That's my only concern.
I know. That's my only gripe as well.
It's like that's my only concern is like, what's this gonna look like? Especially with all these projects you guys are doing. I'm assuming simultaneously. Like, where the budget? What's the money coming from? Like, Jesus. I like the idea that everybody's gonna have the continuity along everything. The only issue I have with the continuity is just like, what if we get what if you hire another Ezra Miller and now everything has to get put on hold? All that has to get put on hold because you got to find another Flash. I don't think we need that much continuity. Like, I'm fine with my video games not being the same as my movies, because another problem I have is like, what happens if somebody gets too old? What if like Patterson fucking takes it? He's too old to play Batman. Is he still gonna do the voices? Like, or what if he doesn't want to do Batman anymore after 3 movies? Like, are we gonna get a new Batman after 3? Like, you don't need continuity for everything. I think like hiring a voice actor for Batman to do all the Batman stuff that requires a voice actor is good enough than having like, let's hire this person who's gonna be the face in the suit, all that. I'm gonna let him rock. I'm gonna let him cook. I have some faith in James Gunn. He hasn't really proven me wrong, except for maybe Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I wasn't a big fan of, but like nothing ever really.
The worst thing.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst thing either. Like, he hasn't really. He be cooking. So I'm gonna let him rock. There's just too much being announced right now that I kind of need them to like you announcing a Wonder Woman, Game of Thrones-esque TV show. It's not as hype as you think it is, because I don't know what your Wonder Woman's gonna be like. If it's like the Gal Gadot thing, I'm not watching it. I didn't watch the second movie. That movie wasn't that good to begin with.
Yeah, I completely regret that I watched it.
Yeah, like and like, you can get me hype with these names, but you guys have dragged these names through the mud. I don't like seeing Swamp Thing isn't gonna make me excited because I like Swamp Thing. It's gonna make me think like, are you gonna ruin Swamp Thing? Because that's kind of like that's what we've been seeing
track
so
record.
far. Yeah.
I hear it, and it's up to them to be very upfront and very transparent about the footage, the scheduling, the structure, all that stuff. I feel like in my opinion, they're going to get the most flack, but this is the right way to go instead of just being all in the dark with it, because the more questions DCU has, the more doubt will be cast over projects to get drip fed one by one instead of at least bulk loading them. So I think this is, regardless of execution in the projects or not, like whatever's filming right now or not, I think at least in terms of public perception wise or reception, that is the best way to go about it for them. They need to show more than they tell. You know what I'm saying? They need to show more than they tell. They're on the back foot. They need to get a lot of momentum back, and announcing projects at least is a good first step to temper expectations of what people might see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do agree. It's a hell of a lot in this first part. And he said this is only the first part, the first like part of the first chapter. So I was like, damn, there's a lot more to come. So I'm like, golly, I don't know how you structure on this.
That. I'm not watching.
It's crazy.
All that.
It's crazy. But I will say this. At least DC has some form of structure, because how he was doing it before is ridiculous. At this point, wanting to sweep the slate clean and making it happen, 100% I agree with. Putting something like this with its actual flow that goes directly into this movie, directly into that movie, a lot of differing perspectives to build out this world is good, because people are going to do it. I know people are going to do several things. If you announce this ahead of time, I feel like again, tempering expectations is really important for this, especially for a lot of series, because I barely know creature commandos. I barely know that. I do not know Booster Gold whatsoever. But the fact that you announce these things ahead of time, especially for the more unknown characters, at least gives people some type of palatable window to say, oh, let me Google who this is. Let me do this, do this here. So if you're doing it in like a short time span, like you're dropping it in like 2 weeks and say, hey, this show's coming out, and you drop it 2 weeks later, people are barely going to have time to get themselves hyped up for it, get expectations on what they're going to see, aside from like the super, the crazy ass nerds that already know who Booster Gold is from like 1976 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the structure and how they're doing it, I feel, is helpful. Go ahead.
Right. No, I was gonna say I know Booster Gold, but I'm not a nerd.
Oh, okay, yeah. Exceptions. We can make exceptions. You know what I'm saying? But you know what?
I know what you mean.
The principle's there. The casual does not know because they're not as tapped in. It varies from person to person, but I feel like the general audience, especially DC watchers, especially people that went to go see The Rock for Black Adam instead of just see Black Adam. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be hard for them to get their expectations right. Where the money is, it's gonna be hard for them to level set what they're looking to see, unless you drop it ahead of time and give them that marker. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
The amount of shows, the differing shows, I just want them to be different. I want them to have enough of a different feel. It looked like I didn't mention the directors in the show notes, but they had a couple of different directors on this. Of course, James Gunn's writing a couple of stories himself, but it looks like there's enough of a very perspective and tone to each of these projects. This is the one thing I want with DC. If you have the chance to meld it down the line and make a connected story with all these different things, cool. But I want these projects to be able to stand alone and have enough of a distinct difference in how they operate. I don't want the Waller show to feel like Lanterns, and I don't want the Waller show to feel like Booster Gold at all. I don't want Booster Gold to feel like Peacemaker. I want very, very distinct things. A problem that has been cited with Marvel time and time again, while the characters, are always good, sometimes people complain about the tone of all that because they feel like, oh, it's all just sing-songy Marvel stuff for 6 episodes. Nothing really ever feels truly different. It feels like it's like they take a step, foot outside the house, but they're still in the house. I want different houses in the same neighborhood. And then when we come together on these big movies, we all meet up at the playground or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to have that difference in tonality and presentation to some degree presentation, but most importantly, tonality and just how you present that story and how you present the characters. I need that to be chief. I need that to be priority number one. Make it feel like you're getting something different every time out instead of the same cookie cutter stuff. For that, cool. Let me see. Everything else besides this, cool. I'm excited for the Waller series, honestly, because Viola Davis is a beast. She's amazing. So she gonna cook whatever she does. Superman, I am very cautious about. Just I don't know what Superman we're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of just talk from James Gunn. He was talking about like how Superman should be portrayed in like a lot of different iterations. And he's leaning towards something that we haven't seen in the movies in a while. Like, again, like from what he's retweeting and talking about and commenting on, it seems like we want to get that more like the more hopeful Superman, a little bit more of a varied character, something like what we saw in Justice League Unlimited and Justice League and just those types of shows, which is fantastic. I think it's going to be hard to translate it and make people buy into it, especially nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes some people just want the super gritty, crazy ass stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he wears tights, maybe he doesn't wear tights. Like, there's a lot of decisions to be made, but I think it might go in a direction that I like, especially if they're gonna like make what's it called, Supergirl super hardcore. Like, she's gonna be like off the wall, batshit crazy. She's gonna be super violent or whatnot, and Clark got to pull her back and teach her the way, like, you know, in Justice League Unlimited, like kind of take the trauma off her.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely stakes to be laid down for that. But I'm interested to see how that turns out. Lanterns, I think if the CGI is good, that's gonna be crack. John Stewart in live action. That's all I need. Make sure the CGI is good on this damn show so John Stewart could look good, or we will have some problems. That's all I gotta say on that. I'm most excited for that, obviously. Rest of these shows look pretty cool. Brave and the Bold, I'm interested to see. All this stuff looks pretty interesting, honestly. There's enough variety in this to where I think we'll cover a lot of bases. The most important thing I will note is that they listened to my advice. They left Matt Reeves the fuck alone. They left him alone. They left him to his own devices. They said, Elseworlds, it's your own thing. You got it, pal. That's all you, buddy. you have fun over there. Leave him the fuck alone and let him cook crack. That's all I needed y'all to do. That's my baseline. That was my very minimum requirement. And they've knocked that out the park. This is all I needed them to ever do. And I think they're starting off on a great foot. That's just me personally. But I think this could be the start of something that's very strong for them. They just have to deliver something different in these projects, and they have to stay consistent with the structure. Keep building, keep everything mainline, streamlined as possible. And I think DC could be on the track to recovery in the next decade. So, you know, that's how I feel. All right. Moving out of the trailer truck, because that was a long ass section. Good Lord. I blame DC for that. The last main stories here. Had a statement from Philly Spencer Xbox on last year's performance, as he stated, our commitment to our fans that we need to have a steady release of great games that people can play on our platforms. And we didn't do enough of that in 2022. There's no doubt. And fundamentally, that's on me. I'm the head of the business. So, I mean, that he kind of just held the L for himself and the whole brand for real. I mean, where's the lie? But you know what I'm saying?
But not taking that L. I would have not. You would have. Batman couldn't have got me to take that L. I would have been like, bro, I'm out here I'm fighting against multiple different continental.
I'm fighting for my life.
I'm trying to get this acquisition to go through. I'm fighting like many different countries, people who I didn't even know how to say in this. Like, I don't speak Portuguese, but I'm arguing with Brazil on the phone.
Brazil
to get this thing to go through, and you're telling me I didn't bring enough games to Xbox? How many games are on Xbox before me? Bro, exactly.
This man had to call up Vin Diesel while he was working on Arc 2. He was like, yo, remember in Fast when you was in Brazil for like 5 minutes? Can you translate for me, dog? Bro, I swear they saying something crazy for me.
Like, I understand Phil Spencer's like, yo, he's literally just trying to be the best man he can, bro. But I would not take this L, because
there's some bullets that are just not necessary to take,
bro. Like, it's not his fault that Halo sucks. That's 343's fault. That's not his fault. It's not his fault that like the games that are Xbox exclusive and all that, like, they're not as good as you would want them to be. Like, yo, it is what it is. Like, I'm trying to get more people to come to Xbox. Like, that's what I am, outreach. I'm trying to get people to come here. What they do while they're here, I can't control that and find more people. Now, if Phil Spencer said, I'm going to stop buying stuff and I'm going to start watching them, that's a different story. You could say that. But like, I think he's already doing a lot. But I'm still a Sony fanboy. So like I know, yeah, Xbox don't really got nothing for them. Game Pass is great, but like, if you took away Game Pass, I'd be like, yeah, Xbox is pretty dead right now. But the thing is, you can't take away Game Pass because it's good, it's there, it's cooking. So like, I understand. I do think that 2022 wasn't the strongest year for Xbox. I think he's kind of laying the groundwork. I think one more bad year of Xbox, and then we're gonna get some crazy years in Xbox. And that one extra year is just me being like generous,
conservative.
Yeah, like he could blow us out the water this year. But like, I honestly don't
I
think.
don't think so.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not really excited for much coming out this year. But like, I'm saying like 2024,
Mhm.
he could
2024,
have
2025.
he could be setting up the groundwork for like insane years to come. So like, even though it
Facts.
was an L, gamers have to be patient regardless. Like, you got a backlog. There's a bunch of games on Game Pass. If you got an Xbox, bro, you have one of the biggest values in gaming ever. Like, for $15, you get all. You don't need to even never need to buy games on your console anymore. So like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think that 2022. I don't think he can really have a bad year as long as Game Pass is still good.
Facts. I agree. And again, right now, it's a game of inches. You have to basically scrap for every little piece of rapport that you can build. And Hi-Fi Rush has bought you a lot of those. Hi-Fi Rush has bought you a lot of things like that, where you can drop a banger out of nowhere like that. Again, it doesn't have to be the biggest release, but it's something that everybody loved, something that everybody was on to. So having those little wins here and there, they'll add up. And when you can load up the cannon for those big pushes, like, I don't know how much skin Starfield's going to get you in the game. I don't know how much skin Redfall's going to get you in the game. I don't know, because there's big expectation on it. So it's going to be like high risk, high reward. Like, it could go one way or the other. But having those little things, keeping the value of Xbox Game Pass high, you know what I'm saying? Having those drops, like Monster Hunter's going to be on Game Pass
Monster Hunter's
this
already
year?
on Game Pass. Monster Hunter's
Already on-
out on Game Pass. I think the next game that's coming out on Game Pass, if I have it up right now.
Wolong coming
Wolong
to
is
March.
coming. Atomic Heart on the 21st.
Atomic Heart,
And Hot Wheels Unleashed, a big a sleeper.
which is still
say.
crack. You know what I'm saying? It's still, come on, beat that for real.
It's crazy value.
But yeah, no. It's like they have to just keep building on the small wins, and they have to lean on the Game Pass until those heavy hitters are ready to go. They, like, Game Pass has shown it can sustain, it can report value, and it can sustain that pressure for a good amount of time. I feel like 2023 is going to be like another, like, hey, we're testing the waters with some of the stuff that we're cooking. Like, we have a couple of big bangers that we think are going to go crazy, but we got to see what people are feeling with the Starfield, with the Redfall and stuff like that. 2024, 2025, I agree with you, is going to be probably the biggest turnaround for, I think, the gaming industry in general, because it just, momentum is going to build off of this year. I think 2025, 2026, we're probably going to see the most games we've seen off of gaming in history, just because of the bounce back and how in demand stuff will be because of bouncing from the pandemic and stuff like that. I think that's a thing. Also, just for Xbox's sake, that's when their heaviest hitters, I think, are going to come through. Think about Perfect Dark's going to be on the back burner for a while, but 2026, 2027 might be an ideal date for it. Elder Scrolls, whenever that game comes out, they're going to be putting pre-production work in it now. But when they get cooking on it, everybody and their mom going to be breaking a back for Elder Scrolls, just off of name value. I don't care what you say. I don't care what heat you want to give or not. Elder Scrolls has weight, and people will look for that. And experiences like that, they might drop another Gears of War. I have no idea, but Gears of War has been out the loop for a while. Seeing that back might boost some numbers. You never know. So this year, I'm not expecting the craziest thing. I'm just expecting Redfall and Starfield to be somewhat decent, to be 6 or 7 out of 10. That's my expectation for them, honestly. But I think the most expectation out of the Xbox brand has to come from Game Pass steadily releasing stuff on day one, having that value and keeping it up. And again, dropping those day one big valuable bombs throughout the year consistently. That's the game plan you need to stick with. The small wins led by Xbox Game Pass. You can at least buy yourself some time for those big releases in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. We spitting games to you, Philly. We spitting games to you, bro. Get us on the team. I ain't gonna lie, man. Might need some strategy advice. We got you, bro.
We could definitely advise some strategy, man. Hit us up.
I'm telling you, bro. You listen, man. That Forza Motorsport, cut that. No.
I'd be like, listen, there's only one name you need to worry about, Phil. Kojima. So get him on the line. He's already making the game for us. Making the 2.
Do it again. Put him on the line again. Death Stranding 5, but we didn't even drop 3. Like, hey,
don't worry about it. He'll make it make sense. If anybody can do it, it'll be him.
Oh shit, man. All right, man. Moving on to the next story here. Had a new report come out this week stating that Mario Baseball is set to come back into the fold. It's in the works apparently, so we could be seeing some version of Sluggers back in a new light on the Switch. How are we feeling about this?
I feel like fuck you for putting this on the list, because this is not true at all. I don't believe this one bit. So I don't appreciate this tomfoolery you got going on in the show notes. But I'd appreciate it if you cease. Or you're gonna hear from my lawyers.
Oh god. Oh man. Oh gosh, my ribs. Oh, that hurt.
Would Mario
Okay.
Baseball be good on the Switch? Yeah, no, it'd be the greatest thing that would happen to that console. Will it happen?
Oh,
No.
no.
Like, yeah, this game's gonna come out bundled with the new Star Fox game. It's gonna be insane.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow. You had to put Star Fox in there like that. You had to put Star Fox in there like that, bro. Oh gosh. Listen, this is my only thing. Even if you were, you know what I'm saying, full on making a new Mario game, a new Mario Baseball, Sluggers, whatever you call it. Why would I care after I saw how you did Mario Strikers? Why would I care? You just did my homeboy crazy. Why would I want to get into that? Why would I want to sign on again? You just did him wild.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Everybody would be absolutely right for not buying it if it was done with the same quality as Strikers. But I'd definitely be playing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even if it's just exhibition matches, I'd be like, I don't know. This is it's still bad. Like, don't get me wrong. What they did to Strikers was whack. Like, that game is not as good. That game is not good. But this is something really near and dear to my heart. I love this franchise, but I honestly don't even know if I would want a new game because they haven't been good with their sports games in a while. Like, they've been doing very bare minimums.
In general.
And it's just kind of sad. Like, I'm spending $60 on a game and you can't even give me a little, like, the one that had the best story mode was Mario Golf. Like, that's the one that had the best story mode. And that wasn't even like, they didn't even do a lot. Like, it wasn't even the best, like, ever. Like, it was just like, hey, we're actually gonna give you progression and like reasons to go do things. Mario Strikers was like, here's CPU matches, go nuts. Like, all right, cool. No unlockables, no nothing, just vibing.
Shit is wild, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. I want to invoke your lawyer, so I'm gonna stop doing that. But that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, man. Fuck them for how they did Mario Strikers, bro. That shit. Oh my gosh. Anyways, moving forward. Damn you, Nintendo. After a great reception for the Dead Space remake, Motive Studios are hoping to tap in more with Dead Space, as senior producer Phil Ducarme stated. Their ideas, that's for sure. We'll have those discussions with EA to say, well, what's next? So what should be the plan for Dead Space after such a good reception on the remake?
I definitely think they should go the Dead Space 3 route because it was very well received. Full co-op. No, I'm kidding. I think that they should explore co-op again.
I was like 3. Some in my head was like,
no, I think they should definitely. I haven't played it yet. I downloaded it. It's on the PlayStation. I'm debating if I want to start it soon or not. I haven't streamed since the last time I streamed was the last podcast. Like, I haven't even streamed in a while. I've been doing a lot, but I definitely am really trying to get tapped back into this franchise. I really loved it. I think a good remake of 2 would put them over the edge. Like, I think because 2 was phenomenally well received.
Yeah.
Everybody loved 2.
Yeah, you ain't gotta do too much with 2. Just again, do exactly what you did for Dead Space 1. Do it to 2.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that a good remake of 2, and then like if they want to do the co-op thing again, because I don't think it was a bad idea. I think it was just not a main title thing.
Overhaul story.
Yeah,
overhaul the story.
I think they should. No, I don't think they should remake 3. I think they should make a standalone DLC or something for a co-op story, and then move forward.
Chop down. Like, okay. Just take the concept of it and just move it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like make it. It doesn't even have to be the same guy. It could be somebody else. It could be another group of 2 people, because I think it would be a cool thing to do. And then move forward in a different direction from 3, because I feel like that was the biggest issue. 3 was the fall of that.
Yeah. Three's plotting on. It was just do some more. Yeah, do some changes, make some tweaks. Honestly, if you could literally, again, 2 I think is a super easy decision because of how the first was received. Do exactly how you did the first one, and you should be fine. You should be more than fine. And then the third one, make some tweaks. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of change some things here and there. I think they can definitely go the distance like a Resident Evil, and they can go all the way up to the point where they can just make a brand new Dead Space. They can make a 4th one and do it down the line, like the end of the decade or something like that, where they can just go in a completely new direction with it and just like up it to a crazy max. So they've been cooking, and I'm glad to see that they've joined the horror game revolution, or a renaissance, as it were, where all these games are getting remade and new games are coming out in this horror time period, and they're cooking. They're cooking right now. Horror is definitely one of the genres or subgenres that have been eating over the past couple of years. So shout outs to them. And honestly, like, kudos, man. Need to see more of it.
No, for sure.
Word, man. And on to the last story here, baby. We got word on Insomniac's Wolverine and how they're planning to aim for hard R's on all their experiences. And I do not know whether to be excited or angry. During the first week of Black History Month, no less. We're gonna talk about it, man. We gotta talk about it. They're going hard R, man. How you feeling? How you feeling?
I just don't know who hit send on that. Like, I don't know who thought that was like a good idea.
It was Jeff Grubb's bum ass. It was
Like,
Jeff Grubb. He did it.
Why? Bro, oh my God. And the scariest thing is, like,
I'm fucking with you, Jeff, but Jeff, you fucked up. You fucked up
like,
that time, Jeff.
a racist Wolverine is nuts because you can't kill him. Like, he's unkillable and racist.
You just gotta
That's
shoot
wild.
him in the head enough times to make him forget he was racist. That's the key. You gotta have enough bullets in you to shoot him in the head enough times to think he wasn't racist, or flip his genes to make him racist against white people or something like that, or prejudice against white people. Like,
Bro,
that's the only way. It's the only way.
hard. Like, I'm happy. I'm excited for the game, but come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even say that no more.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. A racist Weapon X, son, we will be finished. We will be finished.
That's crazy, bro. Like, that is nuts.
That's a wild concept. I never want to hear that again. Oh my gosh. I've already had Stormfront and Homelander to deal with in my nightmares, bro. I don't need that. I
Like,
don't need all that.
It's just Wolverine's like, you want me to join you people? And then Storm's like,
Nah.
what do you mean by you people?
Yeah, facts. Zap this nigga. But yeah, all right, man. Let me continue on the rest of this blur, man. But in all serious, though, reports from Jeff Grubb and VGC suggest that Insomniac are shooting for a high M rating in their approach, and they're trying to start from scratch in terms of connection to any other X-Men live-action property, namely the Fox movies, and are setting a starting point in the story before he joins the X-Men. So it's going to be kind of standalone, him walking his own path before he joins up with Charles and the gang. Reportedly set to drop in fall 24 or 2025, hopefully with not any words with the hard R in it. So how are we feeling? How are we feeling on it?
I've always been excited. Wolverine is probably Wolverine is like the main reason I'm playing Midnight Suns right now. I haven't even unlocked the character yet, but once I unlock the character, he's not leaving my team. I'm a huge Wolverine fan. I love Wolverine. I'm very, very excited about this game. Like, the way Charles is excited about Spider-Man games is the way I'm excited about Wolverine games. They're not really good, but it's I think it's the Superman effect. It's like, how do you make an unkillable character like fun to play? I have a couple ideas. Insomniac, hit me up. But anyways, very excited to see this game. I think it's going to be really fun. I don't really care necessarily for it to be gory or whatever. I'm happy that they're not going to go like a PG-13 route. Dismemberment would obviously be sick, but I'm not necessarily like here for the gore. I just want to make sure the combat is fluid and it holds true to Wolverine. If this is Wolverine before he meets the X-Men, I'm assuming his healing factor is going to be normal. Like, I'm assuming all of this stuff is going to work out. So I really want to see where we go from here, honestly.
100%. So give me that. Give me that. I feel like if there's anybody who could appropriately be put in an M rating or an R rating or whatever the hell you call it, it's Wolverine. Deadpool as well, but definitely Wolverine's 100% in there. I just want it. If it's Insomniac, they know what to do and how to make his combat flowy. You know what I'm saying? I think they understand that the gameplay loop and the movement, the attacks have to come first. They have to come at priority number one standard, and I think it definitely will be. In terms of the story and the connotations of the branding, I feel like this is like a Guardians of the Galaxy moment for, like, like the game version, where they can really separate themselves and say, hey, listen, like, the X-Men is such a wide berth. It's not just Hugh Jackman and them, man, bro. Like, it's deeper than that. So this is a really good moment to I get kind of express that. Timeline looks pretty decent from when they first released it. I can see a fall 25. I can see definitely a fall 25.
1000%.
And honestly, like, I just want it. I just want it, bro. I just want it. Wolverine, X-Men has always been one of them ones. It's X-Men Legend. You can go down a whole list. You know what I'm saying? When you fought Wolverine in what's it called? Was it Web of Shadows? I think it was Web of Shadows.
Web of Shadows.
crack in that Spider-Man game when you fought Wolverine and stuff. Had those cutscenes, whatever stuff. Fire. I am always pro Wolverine. I'm not gonna lie. The more you have him in there, the more you have him in anything, I think is a good thing. So we need it. Just no hard R's, please. No, please.
Please don't make Wolverine racist.
Let's not do this. Not in February or any month, but specifically this month. Let's please, guys. Thanks. God damn it. It was trending. It was trending on Twitter, bro. It hurts. All right, man. Dr. Umar's not playing that shit. Anyways, moving on. That's all the notes I got for the pod, man. Anything that we might have missed?
Not that I can think of necessarily.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of a soul. I gotta let out 3 laughs. Kyrie getting traded. Fuck the Nets. Sorry, Negus. But you know what I'm saying? It's just gang warfare. This is how it is, man. It is definitely how it is. Let me see. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're missing. They're definitely Netflix. Yeah, we definitely covered that, and they're backtracking like a mug right now. They are backtracking heavy as hell. Let me see. Anything that we might have missed? No, I think we're straight, bro. I think we're straight. Any closing notes before we end the show?
Stay safe. Drink your water. LCS is on. That's really it.
Yeah, nah. My closing notes is if you're a Discord mod, it's spooky times for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a chat mod, it's spooky times. Do not put feces in your mouth, please. Let's refrain.
Don't do that.
Yeah, let's refrain from putting your own feces in your mouth for clout. It's not gonna get you far, I promise you. And you'll be better off if you didn't live with that memory. So, be good to people. Don't be a dick. Don't put shit in your own mouth. And make sure you rate this podcast 5 stars. A lot of a lot of good content coming on this side, man. So make sure you check in the Apple Podcast and Spotify for the for the audio versions. Make sure you rate us 5 stars there. Also available on all different audio platforms, including Anchor. You can check out our main link from there. Audio and video versions will be available on Spotify and YouTube at youtube.com/@NoCooldown. Make sure you check out WenEazy at Wotaku channel on YouTube, WOTAKU channel, and WenEazy on all of the platforms. You can check out Kxngviii at Kxngviii on all the platforms. Shouts to him because he was great standing, man. Any close notes, you?
No, make sure you respect each other and enjoy video games.
Yo, he can talk? That's crazy. You spoke for King? That's wild. Hey, yo, he's alive.
Yeah, he sounds like me. It's kind of weird.
That's wild. Hey, yo,
wait,
this
I
boy's
should use a
mine.
British accent. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you should.
Men's them be playing games.
We'll see him next Tuesday. He's gonna be
canceled in it.
Oh man, my order the Peaky Blind. He gonna whoop our ass next week, bro. He gonna whoop our ass for this shit next week. Anyway, that's all we got for the show, man. Make sure y'all go drink your water. Be good. This has been episode 54 of No Cooldown Podcast, and we are out of there. I don't have a we're good this time because I didn't record it. So yeah, I gotta go download the stream off your thing. I got Twitch Leech, so I'll be fine.
No problems. For everybody on the stream side, appreciate you guys as always. We will be back next week, Friday, as per usual. Next week's streams I might stream next week. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to get everything situated in my house first. But for sure, more content is on the way. So be on the lookout. And we appreciate you guys. So we'll catch you guys next time.